All right, guys, so I hooked up with RSV4 Pilot. He lives in the neighborhood, so it's kind of cool. Well, not in the neighborhood, but we're close. And he's got this beautiful Aprilia. I love these bikes. He rides this bike everywhere. I'm talking 400 or 500 miles, guys. I'm not talking about, short runs like we make. And I'm just really impressed. But I love this bike, and he tells me he does most of his own service. And so, I don't know, maybe Aprilia will be in my future. Not the RS, because I want something, the bar straight up, but I like the power. But it's a really, really cool bike. And yeah, so he's going to fuel up, and we're just going to cruise around. And I'm going to talk more about my Triumph, about the issues I've been having with it. But he's going to put some fuel in it, and I'm going to talk. And I think I figured out the issue, because he has Stylema brakes. He gets the same kind of noise. So to me, it's just the brakes, because there's a little bit of slop in the pads. So that problem is gone. I'm not worried about that. And as far as the stalling issue, we'll talk more about that in a minute, so I'll be right back. Yeah, that's a cool bike, guys. That's a really, really cool bike. So, I love Aprilias. He says it does, you do feel the heat, though. That's the only issue with these bikes. They're good winter bikes. But he goes all over. We're probably about 5 hours from the tail of the dragon, and he rides his bike out there. And he'll ride back. I mean, me, old man me, I'd probably want a trailer out there, but if I rode out there, I'd probably stay in a hotel and then come back. But he says he does it one day. He's got a, whatchamacallit. He's the true biker. I'm just a wannabe true biker. Anyway, so this is kind of cool. Meet up with another rider. I know I can get this guy to go with my, to the tail of the dragon. So RSV4 Pilot. So that's his channel. I don't know if he makes a lot of videos, but cool dude. And I'm always excited to meet somebody new, and I just love Aprilias. So maybe we'll stop someplace. He's thinking about buying a naked bike, another bike. He can hop on my bike and he can see what it's like. But yeah. All right, so we're gonna head out, and I'll talk more about the stalling issue, and he's gonna lead me along. Lead me. Let me put my whatchamacallit on, and we'll be back in 1 second. Sounds sweet, man. It sounds sweet. I'm ready. Yep. All right, guys, we are off. It's a little humid today, but once we're moving, we're good. But yeah, so look at his position of this bike. Look at that. It's just, and he rides everywhere. But he'll tell you that, after a long 500-mile run or whatever, his shoulders do bother him, his back a little bit. But he loves the bike. Sometimes he was just telling me, he said, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna get something different. But when he gets back on it, it's like, wow, I can't get rid of this bike. So, but. Who knows? So let's real quick. Let's talk about the stalling issue, because the brake issue is a non-issue. The clicking is a non-issue now, so I'm not worried about that anymore. It's just the brake pads moving around, especially when it's when you use the brakes a lot, you don't hear it. It's just when the brakes cool off, you hear it, because it has more slop in the brake. But the stalling issue, I didn't talk about this when I was, sorry about that, guys. I didn't talk about it when I was going, to the bike night, but it never stalled once. Today, it didn't stall at all. I haven't had an issue. It doesn't happen a lot. It's just basically for me, if I cut the throttle real quick after hard acceleration or a steady acceleration, but I'm going pretty good, and then I cut the throttle hard, that's when it seems to do the issue, and it just seems like it's just too lean and it just can't keep up with it. I know a gentleman suggested that I have the throttle bodies clean, but after 6,000 miles, they could be all, but I'll clean them myself. I don't have to go any place to clean them. But I just think it's a lean condition. Oh, that's a good looking bike. it's it's a good. Yeah. Oh, that sounds sweet. I hope, guys, I hope you pick it up, because that thing sounds so sweet. That sounds so sweet, man. It makes me want an Aprilia. I want an Italian bike so bad. But he says it's a good winter bike because it does give off a lot of heat. So I don't know where we're headed. I think we're heading to he knows some nice twisty roads, so we're going to try to hit some twisty roads. And I'll be back and forth, in and out on the video.
All right, guys, I'm sorry for this voiceover, but I left my mic in my other bike in the bag when we switched bikes, because we were BSing for a little bit, and I forgot to put the mic was not in my helmet, so we don't get to hear any sound. But I tell you, this bike is an amazing machine. The riding position, I'm okay with the foot pegs. The height, it's a little high, but I'm okay with it far back. But the lean over clip-ons are just not for me. I gotta have a little bit. If they were just 2 inches higher, it would have been okay. But you really lean over on the bike, so your neck is just like, as you can see with the camera angle, it's just I'm just pointed down, and my neck, besides my shoulders, I guess over time, it wouldn't be so much my back, but my neck would just absolutely be in total pain after a couple hours on this bike like this. But this thing just accelerates so easily. I mean, you could see how I just went up to 70. I know that doesn't mean much on motorcycles, but I'm just feathering the throttle, and the torque is amazing, and the sound when you get over 5,000. Now I'm just giving it little bursts, and it's got an amazing torque, amazing power, and very impressed with the bike. And I love it. I would love to have a Tuono 4V, just the ones that's more of a sport naked bike, kind of like my FZ1. The bars are straight up. It's a really nice bike. It does give off a lot of heat, though. There's no doubt about it. It gives off a lot of heat, but it handles real nice. It flicks real easy. It feels just as light as my Street Triple. And yeah, I was impressed. Again, I apologize, guys. We're gonna, we'll go right back, and we'll talk about. I mean, I got the mic on now. I'll just talk about the bike as I walk around it.
All right, guys. So we switched bikes, and I talked to my audio went out on the ride, so I'll probably do a voiceover for it. But I just wanted to describe this bike. This is an amazing machine. The grunt of this bike is just unbelievable. It sounds good, even though this is like a full exhaust. It's not like really loud like some guys, but it's an amazing. And when you open it above 5,000, it just sounds so good. And I didn't have the mic working, so obviously I failed again. But the seating position, I can't deal with. The legs being up high, no problem. But I give a lot of credit to anybody who rides these type of bikes. I mean, this guy has gone to Kentucky and back in one day. In one day, he tells me, and I could maybe do 20 minutes on it. So he's a true biker. But bike is just so cool. I just love Italian bikes. But if I was going to get an Italian bike, it'd have to be something with the bars, like a regular Tuono. It does give off a lot of heat, so it's a really good winter bike. I want to show you where the main one is. If you guys are interested in ever getting this exhaust right here, that's where you feel a lot. It'll just cook your foot. But if you're like a bike just for performance, just something that's really nasty quick, you can't use this. 217, you said? 217 horsepower. It's got such character. It doesn't like to be driven like you keep idling real slow, but once you just get some RPM in, it's just a smooth, comfortable bike. Seat, yes, is a little hard, but it's a sport bike. It's just, it's like the double R. And, it's a Panigale. It's a double R. It's the same double R as the, it's the same as a BMW. And, these are all just super bikes. And he likes this one, though. He took this away. He's looking for a naked bike, and he likes my Triumph. And, so I'm just going to kind of put all this together. I know I lost the audio on that, but maybe the camera picked up the noise of the bike. We'll see. But I'll on the way home, we'll talk more. All right, guys, we are back on the bikes. And I'm trying to put this video as though so if it just seems a little out of place, because I'm trying to put this all together, I just feel I left my mic. I'm sure my mic was screwed up on my test ride on the Aprilia, and man, sometimes I just can't get this stuff together. My problem is even though I'm an old man, I act like a little kid. I get kind of giddy and just excited, and I'm always fucking something up. Anyway, the bike is really cool. Sounds really good. There's just no way this dude. He could do 400-500 miles with no problem, and he doesn't stay. He just comes back to work, back home. I give him a lot of credit. Just no way. He's had a lot of bikes, but he loves sport bikes, and we wanted to switch. The reason we switched is because he was thinking on getting a naked bike just for something different, and so he likes this bike, but he's leaning towards maybe the MT09. He really likes that bike. But he likes the triple, so I mean he liked this bike, but he's leaning towards the MT09, that's a great bike. And but he said if I had this bike, I could ride this all day long. I would never be fatigued on this bike. So it just shows you the difference. Yeah, it's cool. He's a cool dude. It's a pleasure riding with him, and he's gonna take me out to close to the tail of the Dragon, but not. We're just going to do it in one day, which I'm absolutely fine with. I think it's called Diamondback. It's a little bit closer to where we are because we're in North Carolina, but we're on the east side of North Carolina. And the tail of the Dragon is on the west side of North Carolina. So it'll probably be about a 4-hour ride, but I'm good with that. And we'll leave early in the morning, so that's probably not going to happen for a month because I got to get racing to go to. He'll be out of town next week, and I'm... After next week, I'm gone for 3 weeks racing, so we'll try to hook up in August. But cool. But it's definitely a pleasure to meet him and good times, all because of YouTube. And like I was telling him, I said I will never turn down a ride. Oh, this is nice. He's taking me to a little bit of... Got real dark here, guys. This is cool. And a lot cooler, too. Feels like it's 10 degrees cooler. Oh, I like this. And I was talking to him. He doesn't do, crazy things on the bike. Because the bike is... He said, this bike... Nobody needs a bike like this on the street. He said, but I just like sport bikes. You probably didn't pick it up, but, man, it just sounds so good when he gets on it. He just likes sport bikes, He likes leader bikes. I mean, that thing accelerates like just amazing. I know it's the camera's not picking it up, but it's just, I don't know what gear it just pulls away like it just accelerates so fast. And when he opens it up, it just has a nice, I don't know if it has those built-in flaps or built-in flap exhaust. It probably does, like my GS had. And he gets to a certain RPM, it just opens up and you just hear that motor. It's just a phenomenal sounding motor. I really have never heard one, riding one or felt one, so I didn't really know. But every time I look on the the videos about these things, everybody raves about the Aprilia, the sound of the Aprilia, and the R1 are probably the biggest, most popular. People love the most, I guess, because the R1 with the crank it uses, the cross plane crank. Or is it flat plane? Oh, one of those planes. And then the V4 is just absolutely phenomenal. Oh, 69 Mustang. So yeah, so this is probably kind of the end of the ride, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Didn't think I was going to make a video today. Out of the blue, RSV4 pilot just told me, he's a YouTuber like me. He just said, hey man, let's hook up. He lives, I don't know, probably 30 miles from me. And I'm glad I did. And he seemed to enjoy my company, which is good because I don't know if too many people enjoy my company. And nice little twisty here. And yeah, so I'm sure I'll be back with some video. I've done this. Guys, this is only a couple days after I just made my video, but I probably won't have this out for another week. I just got so much stuff to do, and editing just takes forever. And it's not terrible editing, as long as the 360. If I'm doing the 360 camera, that really takes a long time. But this is not too bad. But I got so much stuff to do, so just look for this video in about a week. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think we've had the stalling issue figured out. All we're doing is waiting for a tune, and I think that's gonna. I think it's just too lean. So I'm weary of it. I make sure when I cut the throttle, I don't cut it as aggressively, and she hasn't stalled, in the last, I don't know, 200 miles. So I'm just gonna have to just be vigilant. And the brakes, I'm not worried about the brakes. So all is good, guys. Problem solved. I think that's how I'll title this. Street triple reliability problem solved. That's good. I think that's going to be the heading on it. And with that, guys, yeah, later.